Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Garret Lau, and I'm here to present my senior capstone proposal, which is creating an esports community in Hawaii. So, a little overview of myself. My name is Garret Lau. I've been in college for a long time. I went to University of Hawaii at Manoa, then transferred to University of Hawaii at West Oahu. I majored in music education for 3 years from 2017 to 2020, then transferred to UH West Oahu during the pandemic as a secondary education major, 2020 to 2022. And then I switched to creative media in 2022 to the present. I'm a graduate of Pearl City High School, class of 2017. And as I said before, I am a creative media major in the concentration of communications and new media technologies. So, just the executive summary for today, I will present my thesis statement following my plans for the senior project, as well as the objective and rationale of my research that I conducted. And then I'll address the significance of the proposed project. So my thesis statement, by integrating esports into the existing sports infrastructure and capitalizing on Hawaii's strong community ties, the state could become a significant player in the growing esports industry, fostering both economic growth and youth engagement in digital athletics. Now, my objective and rationale for the research conducted. Why did I choose my topic? So I've been a part of the esports gaming club here at UH West Oahu, Pueo Gaming, for the past 4 years. I've been the president for the past 3 years. And I have been in the Hawaii esports space, in the Hawaii esports scene for almost 10 years. So I've been able to see what the Hawaii esports scene is capable of by being a player and also behind the scenes personnel, which is the role that I have taken as of now. So the objective for the topic is that esports has been growing internationally, with many countries developing their own scene. So that means they're creating a lot of these organizations. They're signing pro players and $1 million contracts, as well as hosting multi-million-dollar events in their countries. So since the world is all spread out and they have their own scenes, creating an international event is something that people want to see. They want to see their regions go up against other regions in this international competition. And that's where I think Hawaii is in a prime geographical space to hold more esports events. So it's for both pro international events as well as just local events as well. So some of the research that I conducted was I was researching past major esports events, as well as the effects of esports in different countries, and as well as economic advantages of esports. So for my senior capstone plans, I want to highlight the esports community here in Hawaii through a TikTok and or YouTube page. This will showcase different schools and programs that help create the esports scene here in Hawaii. So you're probably asking, why esports in Hawaii? Esports is being developed in Hawaii, not a very big scene, but still a very strong community. Still small though. Not only are there aspiring professional players, but there are many to contribute to the scene itself, meaning like shoutcaster, broadcaster, observers, just the whole production side, stage setup, all that to create just the atmosphere of esports. So that being said, esports can create these career opportunities. So the significance of esports in Hawaii, creating this community. When Hawaii plays video games, it's usually at a disadvantage. Latency is basically the time it takes for one computer to connect to its own to connect to the main game server. Hawaii has been at a disadvantage of that because of the distance. For example, League of Legends, Riot Games, which is the creator of League of Legends, the developer, has its server in Chicago, and Hawaii plays on that same server as well as everyone else in the mainland US. So with that being said, it takes longer for Hawaii players to connect to the server rather than the mainland players. So the mainland players will be able to react faster than the players in Hawaii. So the future implication for this is to bring major events to Hawaii. We've had some major events so far, such as Blizzard's Overwatch League Midseason Madness during the pandemic, because it helps bring both Western and Eastern players to play each other at equal latency, at equal ping. So that being said, Hawaii will be seen mostly as a middle ground. So, for example, for that Overwatch tournament, the Western and Eastern players can be able to play together at the same internet at the same speed. Now, the significance as well, esports has been a way for people to compete in their favorite video games straight from the comfort of their own home. Hawaii still being developed, not as much as the big esports states, such as California, Florida, and Texas, because they have been able to bring their own esports environment alive and thus creating their own esports space. So Hawaii being isolated from the mainland is a big disadvantage when being able to compete. So by bringing more attention to esports in Hawaii, players from Hawaii will be able to get the chance to showcase their talents in more in-person competitions. And there are some small tournaments here, but not as big of a scale as those other three states. So the data shows esports is still growing. It is still growing at a very fast pace. So with this data, esports by 2025, from 2022 to 2025, esports would have grown in an audience of about 100 million fans in that only 3-year time span. So with more fans will equal more money, thus creating more career opportunities for people to work in the industry, not only as a player, but as behind the scenes as well. So some of the data is just the viewership. The viewership of esports events has pretty much had a big gap and it has kind of skyrocketed. So this is two of the same event, but in 2 different years. So in 2019 World Championships, the peak viewership of one of I believe it was the finals. It was about 4 million peak viewership, as well as an average of 1 million. Now, if we compare that to 5 years later, which was the past World Championship uh, for League of Legends, the peak viewership was almost 3 million more than 5 years ago. So it is almost 7 million, and then average viewership as well as 1 million. So League of Legends World Championship, this is at a much bigger scale. This is one of the most watched esports events of all time right now. But and to compare to that, as I mentioned before, Overwatch 2022 Midseason Madness, although Hawaii, this was a remote event, no audience whatsoever. However, did gain some pretty good viewership with 70,000 peak viewers as well as 37,000 average viewers. So Overwatch League uh happening in Hawaii did not do too bad on this scale. So the target audience. So with the growing esports environment in Hawaii, students are able to reach for this goal at a very young age. And by very young age, I mean middle school is where you can start trying to achieve this goal. Esports has turned into much more than a hobby, but has helped people turn into a career. So when people, so my first one, so people, parents and students, when parents usually think of video games, they just think, oh, it's just brain rotting, or just really just, oh, my kid is just playing video games on end. But however, esports can create this opportunity for the student to really take their game to the next level. Next would be aspiring professional esports players, meaning the kid being starting in middle school, going to high school can develop their game, and as well as people looking to build a career in esports. So the proposed solution is esports in Hawaii still lacks a connection with other programs. There are events, but they only happen about twice a year or so, not allowing other programs to connect properly, meaning like the schools to really connect. It's really only that one event that they go to. So by creating this series in my deliverable, it will allow the teams and their director to tell their story and how they got into esports, letting others know how much esports is important to them. So this will help spread the word that esports exists and is alive in Hawaii. So the preparation and process. So once again, I did say it was going to be like a TikTok series or a YouTube series. TikTok probably for short form, if anything. So the pre-production would be starting now December 2024 and February 2024 when I start to really confirm these organizations. I'll organize the dates and organize a set of questions and just everything surrounding the pre-production, the main production phase, filming, interviews, the showcasing of the talents and teams. That will happen from February 2024 to, or not 2024, 2025, my bad, to April 2025. And then the post-production, this won't be, the post-production will happen throughout the whole semester because I want to be able to give out content throughout the whole semester. I don't want to just drop everything to the very end. I want to make sure that I'm consistent and everything does kind of flow throughout the semester. So edit the footage from the production phase and then putting out the content bi-weekly. Now, the deliverable, once again, I said it was to create a TikTok and/or YouTube series with various schools and programs. So the schools that so these are basically schools programs that have been established in the Hawaii esports space, as well as are either in the running to winning awards and possible popcorn style, meaning that I will go to one esports program and then they would recommend me to interview another program, and then that would just be like the whole community kind of just tying together to say like, oh, I really like this program, you should interview them. So other programs are recommending other people for me to interview. But the schools that I want to include, or that I'm in mostly contact with but are not limited to, Evo Mackay Middle School has been the program that I have been helping since November 2022. And then they have really been the face of middle school esports, in my opinion. Next would be Dole Middle School, Valley Middle School, Iolani Schools, Roosevelt, Campbell. And then when we reach collegiate, it is mostly University of Hawaii at Manoa, really the front runner of collegiate esports here in Hawaii by developing UH Esports, and then Hawaii Pacific University. And then also in the deliverable, I will want to interview individuals and esports organizations. So it's not only the schools, but I want to interview the people behind the scenes. So these are just possible people that I have contacted, but I will not interview all of them because it is a very long list. For example, Kyler Tandall, EMP Live Designs. I believe he is the founder, and he is a broadcasting, and it's a broadcasting company. So he's in charge of really running streams for multiple games, not only online, but when Hawaii has events, EMP Live Designs are usually the people to run the broadcast and the stream. So that means shoutcasting, observing everything. Next would be James Makekau Tyson, also known as Void. He is a professional Super Smash Bros. Player, but he is mainly a content creator. Uh, and he just won a major streamer content creator event called, I believe, is Best Gamer in the World. He won that twice already. Next would be Bobby Correa, leader of Hawaii Super Smash Brothers Ultimate East, or the Hawaii Super Smash Ultimate community. Next would be Trayson Luke. He's an esports coach. Ed Lallier is the co-founder and chief revenue officer of Vanta Esports, which is a uh, tournament organizer company. So Hawaii, when it comes to middle school and high school esports, Vanta is usually the main tournament that everyone signs up for, all the schools, and that's when they compete. Keegan Ota, ESPN Honolulu analyst and freelance shoutcaster, and then Isobel Kalambakan, who is an esports team CEO. So I know this is a lot of people, but however, I am in contact with them, and I will probably pick a few. I'm not going to do all of them because that is just a lot of people, but it's just to give me more options. And then lastly, I want to showcase some events. Esports is still growing, but however, there are in-person events that do happen. The first one is the Evo Mackay Esports Invitational. Two, this is the second annual esports tournament that they will be holding at the beginning of the year. It's held every February, so it's a middle school only tournament. And then next would be KawaiiCon 2024. KawaiiCon 2024 is an event that celebrates Japan culture held at the Hawaii Convention Center, but it happens to be the biggest esports tournament in Hawaii for the year. So meaning that people can sign up, and it just attracts a lot of numbers when it comes to esports competing in multiple games. And that's where also Kyler Tandall does run the broadcast for that as well. And lastly would be the Vanta Hawaii Collegiate Invitational. So this tournament will be held at UH West Oahu in March 2025, my mistake. And then UH Systems will be holding a tournament, meaning that all UH campuses will be going up against each other in Valorant and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. And lastly, it's UH Schools tournament, but it's plus mainland schools. So last year at HPU, at the first Hawaii Esports Invitational hosted by Vanta, I believe Stony Brook University from New York and Michigan State University came down and flew here to compete in this tournament against UH Manoa and Hawaii Pacific University, with Michigan State winning the whole tournament. So this is just a really big esports event, a very crucial point for Hawaii esports, and it's really good that it's happening again. And now lastly, the video might play, but it's just some examples of what what some of the videos might look like. The left side is a story of Void, James Makakau Tyson from Kapolei. As I said, he's a pro Super Smash Brothers Ultimate player, but he's a content creator right now. It's a little documentary from the esports organization he used to be a part of. And lastly, on the right, it is the True Labs documentary about esports in Hawaii. Just a quick overview. Some of the main esports personnel were interviewed in this as they opened the first ever True Labs Esports Computer Lab at Waipahu Public Library. That was just a little intro video. And with that being said, I want to thank all of you for listening to this presentation, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you.